Hello and welcome to Fortress, Alaska. I'm your host Dave, and today we're going to talk about one of my pet peeves. Every time you hear the media talk about an AR-15 or an AK-47, they always talk about the high-powered military rifle. So let's just examine that. I mean, an AR-15 is the modern sporting rifle and the most popular rifle being sold. And AR, despite what people think, does not stand for assault rifle. AR stands for one and only one word, Armalite, which was the abbreviation used to define that portion of the company because Armalite was just a division of another company. So it is not Armalite rifle, it's not assault rifle, it is Armalite and nothing else. So let's move forward. Anyway, so let's talk about that high-powered military rifle that the media loves to talk about. This is the typical cartridge fired from an AR-15 or modern sporting rifle. It is the 5.56 by 45 or the 223 Remington, roughly the same cartridge. Not quite interchangeable in all ways, but close enough. Anyways, typically it fires a 55 grain bullet at 3,200 plus feet per second and gives you almost 1,300 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle, and then of course it decreases as it flies and goes downrange. So let's compare that to a typical round of the civilian AK rifles. This is the 7.62 by 39. Fires a 123 grain bullet at about 2,400 feet per second, giving you about 1,600 foot-pounds at the muzzle. Notice they're similar length, similar energy, a little bit more energy out of the 7.62 by 39, but you have a significantly bigger bullet. Now, let's compare it to another one. This is the granddaddy of all modern assault cartridges, and it went with the granddaddy rifle of all assault rifles. This is the 7.92 by 33 Kurs, or also known the 8mm Kurs. It was the standard round for the STG-44 during World War II. It fires a 125 grain bullet at about 2,250 feet per second, and you get about 1,400 foot-pounds of energy. So if we just put them in order of energy so far, the 223 has the least amount of muzzle energy, then the 8mm Kurs, then the 7.62 by 39. But now let's compare it to, say, a cartridge from the 1800s. So nothing modern, no one would dare say modern. In fact, a rifle from the 1880s wouldn't even be considered a firearm in the United States. This is the 4570. The 4570 fires a 300 grain bullet at about 1,600 feet per second, which gives you almost 1,700 foot-pounds of energy, already making it the strongest or most powerful rifle of the four shown there. And this cartridge is well over 100 years old. So right now, these three cartridges don't even match up to the cartridge that was used in the 1800. So now let's jump to typical hunting cartridges. This is a 308 Winchester. 308 Winchester. A 308 Winchester fires a 150 grain bullet at about 2,800 feet per second for about 2,600 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, basically making it 1,000 foot-pounds more energy than any of these. So, and the 308 Winchester would also be called the 7.62 NATO. So it was a battle rifle cartridge used in the FNFAL, the M14, and the German G3 along with others. So that would be considered a full-size battle cartridge, or the 308 hunting round. Now, the most popular hunting round in the United States, the 30-06. The 30-06 typically fires a 165 grain bullet at about 2,800 feet per second, giving you 28 to 2,900 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. It was also the standard cartridge for the U.S. military prior to the 7.62 NATO, but it is also the most popular hunting cartridge in the United States and has been around since 1906, since it's named the 30-06. Now let's get to more typical hunting cartridges for where I live, because I live in Alaska. This is the 300 Win Mag. It's one of a series of belted Magnum cartridges. First of all, the belt that you see here is not to add strength. It is simply for head spacing the cartridge. So that's all the belt is for. It's not needed other for head spacing, and it's not even needed for head spacing on the 300 Win Mag. Anyways, the 300 Win Mag, say, could fire a 180 grain bullet at about 3,200 feet per second with over 4,000 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, thus making it significantly more powerful than the 30-06 or the 308. That's a lot of muzzle energy. Now here, this would be the 338 Win Mag, and this would be my hunting cartridge of choice for Alaska. This fires up to a 250 grain bullet at about 2,700 feet per second for about 4,000 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. So you're getting a much larger, heavier bullet, and you still get a lot of muzzle energy, thus dwarfing these others. And then here is one of the premier hunting cartridges worldwide. This is the 375 Holland and Holland. It fires a 350 grain bullet over 2,300 feet per second with over 4,100 foot-pounds of energy. And these, mind you, are amongst the most popular hunting cartridges in the United States and the world. And this cartridge is in no comparison when you come to power to any of these. I mean, when you compare for size side by side, it's no comparison. Even with the 308, the 308 is literally twice as powerful. You jump up to the 300 Win Mag and you're looking at 3 times the power. So these three, which are typical hunting cartridges in Alaska and can be found all over the world, these three are 3 times more powerful than the 5.56. So the next time you hear someone refer to an AR style rifle as a high-powered military rifle, remember, when it comes to a hunter's point of view, this is insignificant. Most hunters for any large game would start with at least a 308 and then go up from there. Like I said, for Alaska, you're looking at these 2 cartridges. And in this, by no means can be considered a high-power cartridge when you compare it to the hunting cartridges that I use. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Share the video. I have a Patreon page. I also have a Facebook page which shows upcoming features that I'll be showing here on YouTube. So, like and subscribe, and as always, have a good day and get out shooting.